Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 4 of the Coach's Cue. This week we are switching things up by talking about the snatch to begin the cue. This is a very complex movement. Because of this, many of you are not fond of the snatch. And today, we would like to change that by giving you a few helpful hints to improve your snatch technique and movement. Consistency. It all starts with consistency. Your setup must be the same every single time. Shins vertical, arms long, scapulas shrugged together, bar right over the midfoot, butt back, chest up. Then you begin the pull. The second your butt engages, the bar should be leaving the ground and not a second sooner. If you're arranged properly, your body should be in a play button, making a perfect triangle. From here, you initiate the second pull. The shins should be forced to a vertical position by driving the knees out violently. The second pull is where problems start. The weight begins to feel heavy in this position, as you can see. And so, we begin to pull early, get our weight on our toes, and then miss lifts. You must be patient in this position. But it's important to note that it is far more than just thinking about being patient. It takes strength. Strength to row the bar into the hips in a sweeping motion. While you are making the sweeping motion, there must be a violent extension and shrugging of the shoulders. This is accompanied by the violent extension of the hips, reaching triple extension. This is the exact point in which your elbows are high and outside, ripping the bar up into the air. Once you have reached optimal extension on this pull, you must violently pull yourself under the bar. This is an active movement that many people try to do passively. You must be intentional about pulling yourself under the bar to fully complete the lift. Here's an improperly executed lift. The setup begins a little bit on my toes. After this, I begin my pull, in which I am impatient and begin to row early, not meeting my hips properly. When I do meet my hips, they are not extended, which gives separation between the bar and my body, pulls me further on my toes once I pull under the bar, and the bar is missed. A lot can go wrong while performing the snatch, so begin by having a good setup. From there, a strong first pull in which you hold a good body position, then be patient, holding your weight over the bar, waiting to row it into your hips. When you do row it into your hips, wait patiently to shrug the bar as hard as you can, reaching triple extension, and then violently pulling underneath the bar, landing the perfect snatch. Last week, we talked about hip thrusts. When performing them, it is important to have the shoulder blades positioned securely on the bench. If not, it will lead to wobbling and uneven movement, which we don't want during this exercise. As you can see while Matt is performing these, it is important that he has the bar centered on his body. Improper placement of the bar will lead to uneven working of the muscles, along with unsafe reps. We began this episode talking about the full snatch. We will end it by talking about the single-arm dumbbell snatch. It is much easier to learn than the full snatch and truly teaches you to use your hips.
Good.
When performing this movement in a workout, we prefer that you alternate arms in order to achieve proper setup each lift. Setup includes the weight distributed in the middle of the athlete's body, opposite arm resting on the leg, butt parallel to ground or lower, and big chest. This allows the athlete to engage their hamstrings and lift the weight properly. From here, Paul will drive his chest up, driving his heels through the floor and bringing his elbow to his ear, ripping violently like he's starting a lawnmower. If he jumps the weight hard enough, he will leave his toes, fully opening his hips and reaching triple extension just like the full snatch with the barbell. At the top of the movement, he extends his elbow fully and safely brings the weight back down to the ground close to his body.
Elbow to your ear. There it is.
Next time you're in the gym, be sure to hit some extra credit, reverse hypers, hip thrusts, or good mornings. Keep that lower back and posterior chain strong. If you haven't yet, check us out on Instagram, at CrossFit Roscoe, with the hashtags Iron Sharpens Iron and CF Roscoe. Wait a second, we almost forgot our mobility. We fail to realize that mobility can lead to the biggest performance gains in the gym when done properly and consistently. When you look at the best of the best, what do they all have in common? They respect their bodies. They respect the human machine, and they take the time to perform basic maintenance on themselves. In the same way that we take our car to the shop to get its oil changed, brakes fixed, tires rotated, we must daily perform maintenance on our own bodies. Give ourselves the proper warm-up and stretching time to be sure that our body is ready to perform at the intensity we are going to require it to work at. Long story short, mobilization is for everyone. Doesn't matter how often you're crossfitting, how often you're working out, you need to do it. Now, the amount and types of mobilization you perform on your body are going to change based on what you're doing and what problems you have. If you have tight shoulders, you're going to need more shoulder smashing. If you have a weak or tight lower back, you're going to need to roll that out daily. It takes consistency to get rid of little aches and pains that could someday lead to injuries if not kept in check. The important thing is, mobilization isn't only for the gym. You can do it at home. Okay, well, not quite this, but you get the idea. Do it at work. You can do it in the car. That's right, I said it. In the car. Next time you go on a long road trip, bring a lacrosse ball and sit on that. See how that feels for a couple hours. If you care enough about it, you can find time for it. It's important that we all do. Stay supple, my supple leopards.